This is a wonderful, wonderful thing. It's a shrug. And I am using number 11 knitting needles. I am using Homespun from Lion Brand. And what I did is that I cast it on 35 stitches, and that will be for my wrist right there. So now I did knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1 on row number 1. On row number 2, you purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1 until the end of the row. And you do this for 10 rows. Once you finish your 10 rows, you are going to add a stitch on each side, on the right side, every 4 rows. That means you're going to add a stitch on each side on row number 1, 5, 9, 13, 17, 21, 25, 29, 33, 37, 41, 45, 41, and 53. By the time you finish doing that, you will have this much going. So that would be more or less the size of your sleeve, and then you're going to be knitting with your stitch straight until you have the 49 stitches that you need to have before you take off. But we will talk about in a minute. And the way you add a stitch on each side is that you add a stitch when you start on the first one and on the one before last. That's when you add a stitch. And the way you add a stitch is that this is a double seat stitch. So this is where I need to change my stitch. That which is a knit should be a purl, and that which is a purl needs to be a knit. Therefore, I need to purl first, then change my yarn to the back and knit that same stitch. Like that, the next stitch is going to be a purl and a knit and a purl. And the double seat stitch, we already have a tutorial on that. Please look it up. And a double seat stitch is just that you knit and purl one side and the other side is, well, you have to follow the same as what it shows here. You're going to knit the knits and purl the purls. But right now I want to show you how to add a stitch at the end of the row, and I will see you when we get there. So now, of course, I have 2 left, and this was a purl, that's a knit. So on this one I am going to purl, change my yarn to the back, and knit the same one. So like that I have an extra one, and then the last one I'm going to purl. And then of course on the way back I am going to do as what my stitch shows, which is I knit and purl, and that is a knit, and that shows us a purl, so we purl. That one shows us a knit, so we knit and purl. And that's how you add your stitches on both sides. So this is, we had made the video on how to add your stitches from your sleeve up, and it just happened that I had 17 inches from the bottom to when I stopped increasing for the sleeve. After that, then I had to go straight. Which is the back part of the shrug, and this is the part that opens, and I had to do that for 26 stitches because I needed to have the 60 inches long, but 17 was from adding, and then of course it means I need 17 inches on taking it off, because I already know the first part, and since I know how many inches it took me to add, I will know how many stitches it takes me to take off. And I needed the 26 inches in the middle. So 17, 17, and 26 will give me the 60. So I continued in a double seat stitch, and once I had the 17 plus the 26, I started taking off from here down. And if I count the first time that I take off, the first row that I take off, I will take off on row 1, 5, 9, 13, 17, 21, 25, 29, 33, 37, 41, 45, and 49, and 53. So that is what will give me from here to there, and I end with 35 stitches for the sleeve, and then I do a knit 1 purl 1 ribbing for 10 rows, and then I bind off. So once you have your open work, you are going to sew from the bottom of the sleeve up, and it, I more or less did that, and then I think I measured 16 or 17 inches, which is what it took me to make up for the stitches that I needed in the middle. So now in the middle, I have my 63 stitches, and that's it. And this is the part that goes on your back, and it doesn't matter which is the neck and which is the part that goes down. It really doesn't matter because it's the same. So this is it. I hope you enjoy your piece. You can use any number 5 yarn. I used 11 knitting needles, but any yarn, as long as you have the bulky yarn, number 5 yarn, and I used 3 of the homespun here, so it would be about 600 yards of any other yarn that you choose, as long as it's number 5 yarn with number 11 knitting needles. So it's not size 9 knitting needles for the ribbing and size 11 for the rest of the body. And okay,